dhamma, we get the sound of sun. Sun. A look at the kasrahtains. So again, the kasrahtain can be written in different ways, and as we said before, we'll cover this in the Tajweed stage as well. Here we have the letter Ra with kasrahtain underneath it, and one thing you should know, and a lot of people don't actually spot this in the Quran, is if you have a look at the kasrahtain, the two kasras, they are exactly in line with each other. So we call this not staggered. And here we have the letter Waw, and if you look at the kasrahtain underneath it, you'll see it's slightly staggered. The first kasra is slightly behind the second one, and this is very subtle in the Quran, and many people read the Holy Quran for many years and never notice this, and it's indicating some special pronunciation rules between the two. So one's staggered and one's not staggered. So when we get into the Tajweed stage, we'll pick these out when we do some analysis of the Quranic verses. Fathahtain follows the same sort of staggered and non-staggered as well. Now, some special rules with the fathahtain. When fathahtain is added to the Arabic alphabet letters, an extra alif is also added due to stopping rules and grammar rules. The exceptions to this rule are Hamza and the ta marbuta. Okay, so what we mean here, if you see the ta marbuta or the Hamza written at the end of a word, and they carry the fathahtain, i.e. the fatah tanween, you will see it written as you can see here. So it looks exactly as you expect. Now, any other letter in the Arabic alphabet, when it is written with the fathahtain at the end of a word, you will see an extra alif will be added to the letter. And this is something you'll have to get used to, and when we cover the lesson on stopping on a word or stopping at an end of a sentence, we'll see how this comes into play with the pronunciation, because it does have an effect. There's also some grammatical reasons for doing this, which you would learn in grammar. Now, what we're looking at here in the example is the letter Ba with fathahtain. So again, they'll add an alif, and we've put it here twice, and you'll see that the fathahtain between the two of them is slightly in a different position. In one it's on top of the alif, and on one it's on top of the ba. Both of them are exactly the same. What you'll see is in the computer fonts or the Quranic script, they may vary on where they put the fathahtain itself, but it's really on top of the ba itself. So irrelevant to whether it looks like it's sat on the alif or it's on top of the ba, it will still be pronounced as you would expect. So this would be ban and ban. Yeah, ban and ban. And then with the jim, we've shown the same thing, added an alif as you'll see it in the script, plus the fathahtain. We've shown you two examples, slightly in different position, but both of those are jan and jan. Different fathahtains. So the fathahtain can be written in different ways, and our Tajweed stage will cover the differences. Again, it will affect how the actual fathahtain is pronounced. So this is how you would expect it. Again, the two fathahtains are lined up together, they're not staggered. This fathahtain is on the letter lam, and because of that they will add in this extra alif. And in this example, we've taken it out of a Quranic script. The fathahtain looks like it's sitting on top of the alif. This will give the sound of lan. So the fathahtain is actually on the lam. It's just the way it's drawn in the script. It looks like it's on the alif. And you'll notice that the actual fathahtain is staggered. The first fatha is before or slightly before the second fatha, and this will have a indication of the pronunciation in the Tajweed stage. Here we have the letter dal with the fathahtain, and again they've added in the alif, but this time you see they've put the fathahtain directly above the dal. However, it's pronounced as you would expect. It will be dan, and it's not staggered, indicating a special Tajweed pronunciation rule. So they're the different ways you might see it. Again, with the hamza and the ta marbuta, it will be written without the alif normally at the end of a word. Some examples then of tanween. So below is an example of the an, in and sounds. So on top of the hamza we get with the fathahtain an, with the kasrahtain we get in, and with the dummahtain we get So we have an, in, Example analysis, so just a few words before you go into the main practices. Here we have jan, jin, and jun. With one of the tafkhim letters, so with qaf, it will be qan, qin, qun. And with lam, we have lan, lin, and lun. So that was just to give you an idea how the tanween sounds operate across the alphabet. Conclusion then, we have learned what fathahtain, kasrahtain, and dummahtain are. We know the different ways they may be written, and again in the Tajweed stage we'll study all the rules for how they affect the actual pronunciation. We will know the sounds they add to the alphabet, so we know the basic sounds. There will be a bit of tweaking to the sounds in the Tajweed stage, and we understand the term tanween or nunation, i.e. just adding an N sound to our short vowels.